Okay, our project today is lots of lines. You're going to take a piece of paper from your art kit and you're going to create an awesome line design. Line is a mark that moves through space. This piece of paper should have been in your art kit. You actually have two in case you make a mistake. You're going to take your markers and you are going to be creating lines down the middle of your piece of paper. It could be zigzag, it could be curvy or wavy, and you need to make sure that your paper is vertical, not horizontal. And you're going to be drawing some type of line multiple times with your marker. And watch how I do this. I'm going to take this orange colored marker and I'm actually going to use the side of it and to get a nice thick line. So it looks like I'm going to start from the bottom and you can see how the line is thick, and then I'm going to keep going up and I'm making a zigzag line. And I will be taking the next color in just a second and I'm going to go right next to it. You can see where it goes from one end of my page to the top of my page. Now my next color is yellow. I'm taking my marker and I am using the side of it to get a nice thick yellow line, and it's going to be right next to the orange line that I made. I'm going to take the red color and then do the exact same thing. I'm going to go right next to it, try not to go on top of it, and I'm going to start to create a thicker, looks a little bit like a lightning bolt that goes from one end of my page to the other end. Now I'm going to lay down some blue on there, and you might have to go back and forth to get that line to be nice and thick. And of course you can see I am trying to take my time, and you'll have even more time than me. Just really go slow and make sure you make nice thick lines. And you can see I'm showing you how to use the side of your marker. When you use the side of the marker, not the point of it, you will get a thicker line. And I'm using the point right now to fill in spaces that I didn't get with the side of my marker. And you can see right there, I'm going to go on the edge, going right next to the orange color. Now I'm going to color in with the tip of my marker to get it all in, to make sure that it's fully colored in. Alright, I'm going to finish up with this purple, and this purple marker is actually running out of ink, but it gives me kind of a really cool looking texture and look to it. So I'm going to outline it on one side of the zigzag line or the lightning bolt, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. At any time that you need to stop and to catch up, or just you could even fast forward if you have figured out exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, one reason that I used the purple is because it starts to unify the zigzag. By doing it on one side, I did the same thing on the other side. Of course, you do not have to do that. It does help to unify it. Good job. Now we finished the color part of your line project. Now I'm going to show you one that I completed, and it's a little bit different on how I colored it. You can see the one on the right is more right next to each other. This one has kind of a 3D look, the way that I made my lines and then the way that I gave it some type of depth. You do not have to do it that way if you don't want to. You can make it curvy. It's as long as you're making nice thick lines all the way up your paper. Next step, we are going to add a lot of different lines in the background. We can repeat those lines and that makes a pattern. You're going to take these Zentangle worksheets or pattern line worksheets that were in your art kit, and you can use those if you like, and you can take those and just be inspired by them and place them in the background of the creation that you just made with color. So now it's time to take your Sharpie marker. You could also start with a pencil if you'd like. If you're going to do that, I would definitely make sure you press lightly. You can take out your Zentangled worksheets to get inspired. I'm going to start to make some lines and patterns. When you repeat lines, it does create a pattern. And you can see what I'm doing on the page right now, something that almost looks a little bit like a number 8, but it's just curved lines that I'm repeating over and over. And when you do that, it makes a line pattern. And you can see all those really cool designs that you can do on the worksheet, the Zentangle worksheet. Now, I'm just randomly drawing curved lines that go off on the side of the number 8 looking line. You notice that I'm holding my Sharpie really nice and straight and firm, and now I'm starting to make some curved lines, and I'm repeating the same shape to make them look a lot thicker. And then one of the next steps that you'll be doing after you do all your lines is you can start making patterns inside of lines. And when you start to do that, it starts to add contrast and a lot more interest. All right, it's time to speed things up, and so you can see how I finish with my line design. I don't know about you, I'm exhausted. Well, this is how my line design came out. I'm pretty happy with it. So we went from this to adding lines in the background to making this to adding more patterns and fine details to make this. Well, I hope you've had some fun making lots of lines. I had a great time. Don't forget, get smart, make art.